Welcome. This lesson is from page 102 in your book, and it's about when a monomial has an exponent and it is raised to another exponent, like a power of a power is what they call it. So your essential question, your summary will answer, what steps do I take to find the power of a product? Okay, so a good daily example of this would be when you find the volume of a cube. Now we know volume is length times width times height. And so, yes, you could just say this is 4 by 4 by 4, but for the sake of our example, we're going to call it 2 squared. So think of it as 2 squared for the length, 2 squared for the width, and 2 squared for the height. Well, we know in our last lesson when you had 3 or even 2 multiplied together, you'd add the exponents. So think of it as 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 2 to the 6th. So let me actually show you this way first. So it's the same as 2 to the 6th, but you see how if we said 2 squared and 3 of the 2 squareds, remember this is like a factor of itself, and then it is raised to the 3rd power. So do you see how either way, if you had added the exponents here, or because it's an exponent power raised to another power, it's the same as 2 times 3, 6. And we'll do more practice with those. So by definition, you should have this in your notes. To find the power of a power, multiply the exponents. All right, just some quick practice here. So this is like saying 5 squared 6 times. So we would say that's like saying 25 times 25 times 25 times 25 times 25 times 25. So 25 multiplied times itself 6 times. Do you see how it's raised to another power? So we would say that's the same as 5, and the exponent is 2 times 6, or 5 to the 12th. You just multiply the powers, the exponents. Going across, here we have 4 to the 3rd power, and then it is raised 8 times. And so we say 4, and then the exponents are multiplied. Last time they were added in the other lesson. But here, because it's a power raised to a power, we would have to multiply it 8 times. So that's why they're multiplied. So 4 to the 24th. All right, here you have a factor, 3 to the 4th, and it's raised it itself 2 times, so 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 4th, and then that answer is raised to the 5th power. And it's just the same as before, 4 times 2 times 5. So 3 is your base, and then you'd multiply the exponents. So you'd have 3 to the 40th. Last example on this slide, so you'd have 4 squared, and then you have 4 squared times itself, that same factor, 3 times. And then once you had that answer, you'd have that multiplied times itself 4 more times. So you just multiply the exponents, 4, and the exponents are 2 times 3 times 4, 4 to the 24th. I find it ironic that they were the same, but that's all right. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. Now it'll let me advance. All right. So sometimes in your lesson you'll have a coefficient there, and you'll have to keep in mind that the coefficient has to be raised to whatever exponent is outside the parentheses. So I like to draw colored arrows and say 3 has to be raised to the 5th power, and then a to the 4th raised to the 5th power. So we have 3 to the 5th times a to the 4 times 5, so we'd say that's a to the 20th. And then this time I multiplied it out, 3 times itself 5 times was 243, a to the 20th. All right, next one. Just the same practice, nothing different. Because the 4 is even, we know already that this will be positive. Because remember, an even exponent creates a negative number to be positive. So we would say negative 6 to the 4th power x to the 2 times 4 for the exponent. So x to the 2 times 4 would be, I multiplied that out, 1,296, x to the 8th. So do you see how I got this one? I just said in the calculator. Don't try to do it mentally or on paper. Just use your calculator. Negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6 to get 1,296. All right, same practice. 8 cubed times b to the 6th power, and then it is cubed. So we'll end up being b to the 18th. And then I multiplied in the calculator 8 times 8 times 8 to get 512, b to the 18th. All right, this one had a couple or one extra variable. And so negative 5 squared, oh, another even exponent. If that had been a 3, remember this would have been a negative number because it would have been an odd number of negatives. So negative 5 squared is 25. W to the 3rd power, and then it raised to the 2nd power, so 3 times 2. And then the last one, 6, or z to the 6th power, and then it's squared, so 6 times 2. So we have 25, w to the 6th, z to the 12th. And that's it. That was a short lesson, only 7 minutes. Hope your assignment goes well, hope it makes sense, and have a great day.